Indian Navy warships will soon be patrolling the strategic Malacca Strait with allies in what can be seen as a subtle warning to China. Singapore has backed joint patrols of the Strait of Malacca with Indian Navy for the defense of the region and a free and open Indo-Pacific. The decision was announced after Prime Minister Modi hosted Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong at Hyderabad House, where the two sides issued a joint statement on multiple areas of bilateral relations. The development also follows Prime Minister Modi's high-profile visit to China, and even though India and China may normalize trade relations amid US tariffs, there will be no compromise on national security across the LAC in the Himalayas or even the Indian Ocean region. Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong held a high-level delegation on three-day India visit as the two countries held talks to advance their comprehensive strategic bilateral partnership to the next level. This is Wong's first visit to India as a Prime Minister. At 30%, Singapore is the biggest source of foreign direct investment or FDI into India, ahead of Mauritius and even the United States. Now Modi and Wong revealed a roadmap to expand trade and meet the challenges of the 21st century. Prime Minister Modi revealed, quote, "Today we have charted a detailed roadmap for the future of our partnership. Our cooperation will not remain confined to traditional areas," unquote. Prime Minister Modi also thanked Singapore for its support to India on the issue of cross-border terror and the Pahalgam terror attack that shook the nation on the 22nd of April, following which India launched Operation Sindoor to destroy 9 terror camps deep inside Pakistan. But speaking on ties with Singapore, Prime Minister Modi added, "This is a partnership with purpose, rooted in shared values, guided by mutual interests, and driven by a common vision for peace, progress, and prosperity. Singapore is a vital pillar of our Act East policy. Together, we will continue to advance cooperation with ASEAN and carry forward our joint vision for peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region." India and Singapore have now signed 5 agreements with an aim to boost bilateral cooperation in areas such as aviation, skill development, green and digital shipping, space, and digital asset innovation, including to develop next-generation financial infrastructure. Singapore's huge bet on India is a loud counter to the disruptive tariff tactics used by US President Donald Trump against Bharat. These talks now prioritize expanded trade, deeper market access, and building resilient supply chains, signaling India's intent to diversify its partnership and reduce dependence on the United States amid global tariff uncertainties. The two countries have now strategically planned to extend partnership in multiple other areas, and we are here to elaborate them for you. Singaporean Prime Minister Wong stated, "In a world marked by great uncertainty and turbulence, the partnership between India and Singapore becomes even more important because this is a partnership rooted in shared values, mutual respect, and a deep reservoir of trust. I look forward to working hand in hand with Prime Minister Modi to bring the Singapore-India partnership to even greater heights in the years ahead," unquote. But why is cooperation with Singapore important for India? Singapore is a rather small yet very important country for India, as for the past 7 years, it has accounted for over 24% of all FDI inflows into India. It has maintained its status as one of the biggest sources of foreign direct investment in India for years now, with an inflow of nearly $15 billion recorded for the fiscal year 2024-25, according to data from the 1st of June. Foreign investment from the country saw a significant increase of 13%, reaching $50 billion. Singapore and India also recorded their highest FDI investment figure in 3 years during this financial year, as total FD, including equity inflows, reinvested earnings, and other forms of capital also witnessed a spike by 14% to finally stand at $81.04 billion. But why is FDI important for India? FDIs from countries like Singapore are crucial for India to enhance its infrastructure, which includes ports, airports, and highways, to ensure economic growth. Moreover, FDI bolsters the value of the rupee against other global currencies, especially the US dollar. It helps balance a nation's currency value. In the present scenario, Singapore plans to invest more, as Prime Minister Wong stated. So we will continue to invest in India. We will continue to have confidence in India's prospects for the future. So what new agreements are in place? India and Singapore agreed on a wide-ranging plan to deepen cooperation as the two nations marked the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations. In his media statement during the high-level talks, Wong stated that through these bilateral discussions, both the countries can strengthen resilience, seize new opportunities, and contribute to stability and growth in the region and beyond. For the next phase of ties, the two sides identified 8 main pillars of cooperation as part of their comprehensive strategic partnership, which are economic cooperation, skill development, digitalization, sustainability, connectivity, healthcare, and medicine, people-to-people and cultural exchanges, and defense and security cooperation. Prime Minister Modi declared in his statement that trade, advanced manufacturing, as well as other areas are also part of the agreement between the two countries. He added, in keeping with the needs of changing times, advanced manufacturing, green shipping, skilling, civil nuclear energy, and urban water management will also emerge as focus points of our collaboration. The major infrastructure achievement was the joint inauguration of the Phase 2 of Bharat-Mumbai Container Terminal, built in partnership with Singapore, which now makes it India's largest single container terminal. In the joint statement, both countries also emphasized a zero-tolerance approach to terror and committed to fighting terror jointly, including cooperation on counter-terror financing and intelligence sharing under bilateral and multilateral frameworks. India and Singapore agreed on a comprehensive economic cooperation agreement during Wong's visit to India. Both the sides have committed to a time-bound review of the CECA aiming to boost trade volume and streamline market access for goods as well as services. Through the ASEAN-India Trade in Goods Agreement, India and Singapore agreed to accelerate review of this regional trade pact, regarding which Modi stated, "We have resolved that in order to further accelerate our bilateral trade, a time-bound review will be undertaken of our comprehensive economic cooperation agreement, as well as our free trade agreement with ASEAN." Additionally, Singapore also pledged to support India's semiconductor ambitions through policy dialogue, business partnerships, and workforce development. As we mentioned, defense ties will be reinforced through regular ministerial dialogues, joint exercises across the three armed services, and collaboration on emerging technologies such as quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and unmanned systems, as well as patrolling of the Malacca Strait. Singapore also acknowledged India's interest in the Malacca Straits Patrol, a regional security initiative. Modi and Wong have agreed to institutionalize the annual India-Singapore Ministerial Roundtable as the central mechanism to monitor progress on this partnership. So are India-Singapore talks a snub to the US? The talks between Modi and Wong did not directly address Washington's tariffs, but leaders made it clear that diversifying partnerships is crucial for India's trade stability. By signing pacts across sectors such as shipping, aviation, and advanced manufacturing, the Modi-Wong talks underline India's pivot towards trusted partners that support free and fair trade, rather than succumbing to Trump's aggressive tariff regime. Singapore's Prime Minister Wong, in context of trade and tariffs, expressed concern over the global impact of US-imposed tariffs and highlighted the need for a rules-based trading framework and closer links between like-minded countries. India-Singapore talks are a way for Bharat to reinforce its economic strategy and avoid being cornered by US tariff threats, showing the importance of building alliances beyond Washington's influence. But what do you believe? With countries like Singapore and Japan betting big on India's rise, is this the biggest snub to Trump tariff tantrums? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button, and subscribe to Inconnect News.